I'm Rob Neilinger from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I got my buddy Jim Zaspel from right near Philadelphia. Where in Philadelphia are you?
Plymouth Meeting, just outside of Philly.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. It's a much busier area than where we are here.
A little bit, man. A little bit. It's nice and chill out here. I like it, though.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, what you like to do, what you've been doing. Just give us a little background of yourself.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me out here today. It's fun, man. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Got to meet your old team and crew here today. It's fun. So we buy and sell houses. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
We do fix and flips. We do wholesales. We have 140 rentals. Small self-storage facility. It's probably what I'm most excited about is buying more storage facilities. We got mailers that are actually hitting the ground this week to buy more storage facilities.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. That's what we do.
How big is the self-storage facility?
Oh, it's tiny. It's embarrassing. It's only 8,000 square feet, and we're got one little issue with the PennDOT permit to build another 11,000 square feet. So it'll be just under 20,000 when we're done with it.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's 100% full. Keep raising rates, and the nearest competitor 400 miles away is 100% full. Like keep raising rates. It's crazy. It's the easiest money in the world. Not a lot of money, 8,000 square feet, but it's the easiest.
Now, did you do that deal by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so learn the ropes before you go ginormous.
Correct.
I actually have a vision and a dream to build like a big one.
Is that right?
Like some of the guys have done in CG.
It's like, I don't know, Cajona's got to be a lot bigger than mine to build one of those. But I want to start with existing facilities and value add, either through expansion or improve the existing facility and or better management. But I think value add existing facilities is where I want to start.
My construction guys that are building my assisted living, they've just built storage units, so they know how to build them.
No kidding. I need their number.
I'll give it to you.
Good. You know what's funny? This PennDOT permit, so we had to widen the shoulders and stuff like that to do our addition. And it turns out there's an unpermitted driveway on my property. It services my next door neighbor's property.
Okay.
And it crosses a freaking creek. It's his only way to get out of his house. And so PennDOT says, you can't have that driveway. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Tell my neighbor to kayak every day? I don't know. It's annoying. So we're still working through that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I always thought I could do the construction I do construction for our residential stuff, so I thought I could build my assisted living. Well, after hiring these guys to build my assisted living, there's no way I could handle that kind of job.
Really?
It's super intense. It's a whole different ball game from residential, and I don't think I could do it unless I built a company around it.
What were some of the things that you realized you didn't know?
Well, they have an on-site guy there every single day.
Okay.
Then they have a PM over top of him that kind of is involved every single day to a certain level.
Okay.
And then they have support staff to help them both.
Oh my gosh.
So like if I would have just hired a PM to run it, I would have been doing all those other tasks.
So like that guy on site, he's probably $150,000 a year type of guy. The PM above him is probably a couple $100,000, and then you got some support staff.
Yeah. I would say those numbers are lesser than that, I would say.
Okay.
But it does add up when you have all of them.
Yeah. Wow.
And then the piece of equipment they bought out to just do like the site development on a daily basis was $50,000.
What kind of equipment is this?
It's like a total station. It's set up their corners because they did all their own site layout for the whole project all the time.
Wow.
So right away, I'm like, if I thought I was going to jump in and do one project.
I remember talking to you a few years ago. You're like, oh, I can do it myself, but they won't let me do it. There's bank's stupid. And turns out the bank wasn't stupid.
The bank's not stupid.
Okay.
But they told me in the meeting, they said, Rob, we like this project. We'll do it, but there's no way in heck you're building it.
Yeah,
That's exactly what the guy said.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
The main money guy at the bank. I don't know, what's that name? The main money.
Rory?
No, the main money guy at a bank.
Oh, I don't know.
Like this.
Whatever, I don't know. The dude.
The CFO at the bank.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that told us that.
Gotcha.
So anyway.
Gotcha.
So interest rates are going up, right?
They're crazy.
So a couple months ago they were in the 4s or 3s, and now we're seeing stuff in the 7s.
Bumping 7, yeah.
So is that affecting your business at all?
Yeah. So on a few different levels, right? So I was kind of all gung ho buying rentals up until at some point mid-year this year. And the name of the game is you buy it with short. The way we do is we buy it with bridge debt, so it's 8-1. Now it's like 10-2 money or 10% private money, so whatever. It's somewhere in there. Expensive 12-month note kind of money, and you do your value add, whatever it's going to be, and then you refinance with the 30-year debt. Those DSCR loans have been freaking amazing. Between that and the cost segs, like the last few years have been just freaking once in a lifetime opportunity. But anyway, like the 30-year DSCR loans are 7.5%, 70% LTV, not 75 or 80 like they were. So I mean, it doesn't kill all my deals, but it really sucks. And so I was actually, I just got approval yesterday. We're put in for 26 refinances, single families, and 5.5%. It's 25-year AM with 5-year resets. It's like LIBOR plus something, I forget what. So I'm excited about that. I mean, I don't think in 5 years interest rates are going to be higher than they are right now, and so I figure it's kind of hard to lose at those numbers.
Will your bank let you reset those along the way if they go down or not?
Only at the intervals.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no prepay. It's like a half a point origination and no prepay, so I could refi if I had to.
Our one local bank, for $250, they'll allow us to change.
Lower. So you just keep chasing
Well, we
the
did,
rates down.
but we did it once or twice on a few properties in the last 3 years.
Sure.
And there's no prepay, and they allow us to do that, which is rare. It's a real small bank. They won't go to your area though.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they don't like going past Harrisburg.
So it's funny. There are different levels of small banks, right? I had this one bank. I did a few mortgages with them, a few loans with them like 3 years ago. And I had like 30 properties at the time, right? And I was flipping, I don't know, 30 houses a year, or maybe 40, I don't know what it was. And like, Jim, this is like, this is not our normal thing. We like to deal with like mom and pop landlords. They got a couple of rental properties and blah, blah. I was like, dude, like, no, shut the front door, no way. Because you should be thankful on your hands and knees begging me to do business with you. Like, I'm better than your normal borrower.
Yeah.
And so I finally got them those few loans. I go back again recently to this 25. And like, you got way too much going on, Jim. No way. And they wouldn't do business with me. Yeah.
Because you're too big.
Too big for them. Yeah. So went to a different small credit union, and easiest process in the world. It's awesome.
Now, do you have help on your team to get them all ready and present them to the bank and show them to the bank and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we just upload a crap load of Google Drive documents.
Okay.
And we have a conversation. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have done like a cover letter. I did like an introductory email. No, I did do a cover letter. I did do like a one-page executive summary. What we're trying to accomplish, we're trying to borrow, our estimated cash out, and what we're going to do with that cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $470,000 cash out. Kind of exciting.
That is great.
It's noteworthy in my book. I don't know about your book. In my book, it's noteworthy.
I actually sold about 50. I don't normally sell, and I actually sold a 20 unit. I sold a whole block of about 25 houses.
Okay.
And I sold a 6 unit and an 8 unit.
Just because like you get stupid numbers for them, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Like we walked away with on the 20 unit. We had a partner on that deal, and we each got $430,000 profit. And then we just sold a 6 unit yesterday. We walked away with $250,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the 8 unit $330,000, and then those 25 rentals $1.3 million.
Dang.
That's all in like the last year, a little over a year. We've done that. We started that in June or August of last year.
So I remember seeing a Facebook post of yours about like the tax benefits or your tax implications this year, and you just took like a deep breath when I said that, right? Like how, in hindsight, like how do you feel about the decision to sell those with the tax bill and everything?
We so at one point over the last 6 months, we had an Excel spreadsheet error. Like I thought, have you ever had an Excel?
Oh yeah.
So we thought we were pushing $3 million, okay, at one point, and there was this one $900,000 number on there that was kind of added twice by accident.
Okay.
So we were pushing. So we lost $1 million this year, and we didn't even quite know about it.
Oh my gosh.
But and listen. Every decision we made this year. So we invested in the last probably 12 months. We invested over $4 million into projects.
Wow.
We also made $4 million this year in profit.
Sure.
Taxable profit this year.
Awesome.
We sold our mobile home park. We sold the units I just told you about, and that made us probably $2 million. And then the other $2 million came from rentals and flipping.
That's awesome.
We're very profitable flipping this year.
Yeah, you are. That's
Very.
awesome, man.
But the turnkey, we flipped turnkeys for the last 2 years, 3 to 4 a month, very profitable. And those interest rates are messing up those buyers now.
Sure they are, because like they're highly leveraged buyers.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah. What are you seeing in the retail side of things? I'm still seeing a strong retail market, even with the interest rates being 7.
So we're forced to go back to we need to flip. That's what
Right.
we're good at construction and we're good
Right.
at buying houses. So we're back to flipping houses retail now.
Yeah.
We've got 2 or 3 in the pipeline, and those have great profit. So you just have to buy them better.
Yeah. So for like a year, I've been buying houses at like I refuse to buy it unless it's like a impossible to lose kind of number. It's going to be awesome, right? And so it's been awesome profits until like the middle part of this year. All of a sudden, like those, if I would have needed a $60,000 margin or $40,000 margin, I buy like a 70 or 80, right? And we've been getting the 70 or 80s, but now we're down to like I thought it was going to be 80. It's down to the 40. So it's been fine. We just did one, but like to me, it feels like 4, 5, 6 years ago, where it's a strong market. right?
Yep.
But they didn't sell the first day. Might not be multiple offers, might be, but not always. And they always have inspections. But if you have a quality product, no busy roads, it's a good neighborhood, it's got enough bedrooms and bathrooms, the layout's cool, nice finishes, it sells. I just sold one. I bought it thinking I'd sell for $450. We put a little bit of extra work into it. Thought I'd sell for $499. And I looked at comps again right before listing. And I said, well, I'll shoot for $525. I got an offer at $530, like 2 weeks after I listed it. Yeah.
Wow. How many flips are you going to do this year, do you think?
Between 45 and 50 will sell.
Okay. Is that more or less than you normally do?
That's a little bit more than last year and similar with each of the prior 3 years.
That's right where I've been between the 40 and 50 literally the last 7 or 8 years. I've never wanted to grow more because of being nervous about this might happen.
The downside, yeah, I want to stay here. I want to maintain 30 to 50. I'm fine with.
When you go to 100, it's like a new system, I would say.
It is, and so I had somebody say this. I heard somebody say this last week. I thought it was a pretty insightful comment, and that is 50 to 100 deals a year in the single-family world, or 300 plus. Those two people are profitable, very profitable. It's the 1 to 300 guys, which is where I've been stuck for a while. Look, we struggle sometimes. We were forced to keep we had to limit some of the people we kept, and we're getting 2 or 3 contracts a week with sellers. Some wholesale, some fall through, and we buy some. And it works with a staff of 5 or 6 people. It's super profitable.
That's the way I've kind of been.
Yeah.
Just expanding into multifamily.
Yeah.
Those deals are financed for long term. I have an acquisitions guy for multifamily now too. You didn't meet him today though.
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about it.
His name's Joe. So he's bought in the 200 units that we bought.
Okay.
And then he found the 8 unit we just bought.
Okay.
Now it's been a little slow the last 30 days.
Right.
But things are. I think sellers are a little leery right now in the market.
Totally. I think we're going to see a lot of broken deals come across the market, whether it's the value add stuff. Because think about all these different. We've had conversations about cap rates before, but all these different numbers that people are buying stuff. They're buying at a 5 cap, hoping to sell at a 3.5 cap. But that's a thin margin to begin with, and that's a crazy low cap rate. And when your cap rate is lower than your cost of capital, it doesn't really pencil out, I don't think.
Yeah. And people that just got into multifamily these last couple of years thinking they can raise rents.
Right.
If you didn't buy a good deal, you are absolutely screwed. And I guarantee you there's operators out there. I'm nervous on one of I have one deal, and it's not I'm not really nervous on, but I have one deal that's going to be tight when it goes into that. Ironically, it goes from interest only to a 25-year AM. And I forgot that we did that one on that one.
What were you expecting? What were you thinking?
I just thought it was 30. Most of them roll into they go interest only for 2 to 3 years.
I see.
And they roll into a 30.
I see.
That's usually an easy bump. We're cash flowing good now on the interest only, but when you go to 25 years, it's
yeah.
But we should have changed the pref. All the deals we did before, we had a pref of 7.5.
That's a high pref on a narrow deal.
But when we changed it from 30 to 25, we should have said, okay, just make it 6.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a smarter move. But hindsight's 20/20 when you're just trying to get a deal versus thinking through 3 years later.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
But a lot of my deals are all 2 or 3 years in now. They're all cash flowing great. But I could imagine if we bought stuff that wasn't good, ours are all in good A to B areas.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Most of my rentals, probably 3/4 of them are in C-class neighborhoods in Philly. You go a few blocks one direction, values might be twice what they are on my properties, but it's in the path of progress. Here's an interesting stat. So I looked this up last week. In Philadelphia County, the months of inventory is 4.8 months of inventory, which is almost a balanced market. People think it's a buyer's market now. I don't think it is. You can tell me if you think differently.
No.
An equilibrium is 6.5 months of inventory, right? And so it's 4.8 in Philly. In Montgomery County, people are moving out of the cities. 0.7 months of inventory in Montgomery County.
Wow.
It's crazy low. Yeah. What are you guys seeing out here?
I don't know the numbers like you do because I don't flip a lot of retail houses, but I can tell you that if my wife lists something under $300,000 in a good area and it's priced right, multiple offers still.
I'm sure.
And it's going overpriced.
Wow.
Now she's getting a little more inspections, and she's getting she just had a deal that had 2 offers on it, and this particular buyer changed their mind. Mm-hmm. So you're getting a little bit more people changing their mind, a little bit more overthinking things, and a little more inspections.
Well, they're counting their pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the dollar doesn't go as far towards a mortgage nowadays.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But I listed a new build. I probably have it overlisted right now. It's in a good school district, about 30 minutes from here, 520,000, and we're having some issues with
right?
showings. It's not 100% done. It's like 90% done.
What do you list your new? I'm doing my first new construction actually. Or putting the roof on today or yesterday.
Okay.
Like when do you what do you actually list it for sale? When do you start letting buyers come
My
through?
builder wanted me to list it. So the kitchen's in, all the flooring's in, like it's just carpet and the finished stuff. And he has the yard all in.
Okay.
I personally think you just ought to wait and get it done.
Get everything done and then list it.
Maybe even stage it.
I totally agree. That's like I just think you really shoot yourself in the foot because there's not the wow factor.
Yeah, especially in today's market, if things are changing,
Yeah.
I think you got to do it.
You got to wait and list it. Yeah, I agree. That's what we're talking about.
Well, I appreciate you coming today, and I'm excited to go do a little tour with you.
Let's do it, man. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.